Oh, hey, Adam. Seems like your problem is solved.
Yeah. So thank you.
Oh, great, cool.
Hi, I was just going to say I made sure you got re-invited on both accounts. So
Right. Thanks.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, Kurt, I'm not sure if you got my message about a few Alibaba guys want to join also, but maybe not this one, maybe next one. So I wonder, like, how do we handle this let's say the one-time invitation in the TSC meeting?
Yeah, one time is no
doesn't
problem.
work, right? So
Yeah, and one time's no problem. It's actually really slick in the way PCC handles it. LFX. I can just do an invite and not check the recurring invite box. It invites them for the next meeting and then removes them for the next. It's fully automated.
Gotcha. So every person that we want to invite, we have to go through you to invite. We cannot do the invitation ourselves, or
well, right, for recurring or single time or both? Yes.
both. Yeah, both. We have to kind of get your permission to invite people.
Yeah, that's not a problem though. I'll be happy to handle any additions.
Okay. Is there a general LFX rule that every person invited has to be LFX staff permitted or what?
Yes. I mean, right now, everybody invited has to be yes. There are plans for LFX to add a different level of authentication or whatever for the website to be able to have a level where we could add people that could manage meetings.
Okay, got you. So yeah, the tooling, this is the tooling limitation that people are working on.
Right. Yeah, and it's a function of project management anyway. I mean, we're not expecting 10 people every week to add and remove, right? So it's a manageable number for right now, but yeah, they are working on adding that functionality to LFX.
Okay, got you. Okay, I was just chatting and we're waiting for a little bit before we get started.
Would you like me to share the slides?
It's okay. Let me see whether I can get it started. Okay. You can see my screen?
Yes.
Cool, thanks. I'm just checking the participants and if we have enough people to get started. Maybe 1 more minute, then we'll get started anyhow. How about that? There you go. Okay. Okay, let's get started. It's 04 already. We probably yeah. So okay, Kurt, you want to repeat the antitrust policy?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Reminder to everyone that the antitrust policy applies to all the meetings of the Linux Foundation. If there are any questions on that policy, please reach out to us or consult your legal counsel. And I was just doing a roll call here for a quorum.
Is this a Etherpad you're using?
Let's see.
I think we have. Do we have Alibaba, Broadcom? Probably.
Yeah.
Do we have Google?
No.
No. Okay.
I don't Google.
Who have Intel?
This is Reshma from Intel.
Yeah, this is Arun here, Leon. Pichin should join us soon, I think.
Okay. Yeah, Microsoft, yes. Mellanox?
I don't see Maddie or Leah. Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Okay. Okay, but I think we have enough to start it.
We do have a quorum, yes.
Okay, let's go. Keep going. Agenda. Okay, let's go from here. So the last meeting minutes. You sent it earlier already. Yeah.
Right. So if there are no questions about the minutes, do I have a proposal? Will someone move that the minutes be approved?
I'll do that. Yeah.
And seconded?
Yeah, this is Arun.
Okay. All right. So any opposed to approving the minutes? All right, minutes are approved. Thank you.
Okay, Kurt, do you want to? This is yours. Action item.
Sure. Yeah, I'm hang on one second. I'm catching up on minutes. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, action items. Yes. So scheduling the public community meeting is imminent. I finished migrating. We'll talk about this more later, but I did finish migrating the SONiC project. So that was what was holding me up there. And we can talk about that more later. Second action was to get charter terms on meritocracy and TSC election process. I can actually share the charter if you would like.
Go ahead. Yeah. Why don't you take over the share then?
Okay, let's see. Share. Yeah. Okay, so this, can everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the technical charter. The election is defined in the technical charter for the TSC. Basically, the things to call out here are that any further definition or revision. I mean, this is the policy that we have to follow, but it doesn't define everything. So anything that any conditions for nominations or anything like that, the TSC has to define. We did ask for a definition on meritocracy. It is called out here in the technical charter, and it's the only definition that it has here is that contributions are considered based on technical merit. And so I think the TSC gets to define what technical merit is, but nominations for the TSC need to be considered based on their technical merit. Nominations for the election must include name, qualifications, and company affiliations. So we can set up a spreadsheet, we can do it via email, we can do it however you would like. But yeah, we do need to be able to have the nomination's name, why they feel like they're qualified for the position, and of course the company they work for. The election process is there's big words in here for time limited, Condorcet, blah, blah, blah. What that really means is that all of the voters will have a limited time to vote. It's a week or two, usually a couple of weeks. And the voters will rank all the nominations. So if we have 10 nominations, they will go through and rank all 10. a no vote for a nomination counts as the lowest rank. The initial election, and that's just for this upcoming election, the top 4 ranked nominations will serve for a 2-year period. And the remaining 3, the next 3 down, will serve for a 1-year period. And that's just for this initial election. All subsequent elections are a 2-year period. And the idea is to just so that you don't rotate the entire TSC all at once, that it's a staggered election process. Any questions on that? No? Okay. So I think that satisfies the action items.
So, Kurt, a quick question is that
Sure.
will the voting be held again every year for those who serve 1-year term?
Yes, the voting is annually, basically at the date that we decide the election will be for this year. The election does need to happen, before the end of the year. So I believe the target was based on the formation of the project 6 months out was around the December timeframe. So we should be definitely taking nominations, let's say by, my recommendation would be for the TSC to say nominations by, at maybe how nominations will be gathered by next meeting, and then all nominations in by the following meeting. And then that gives us 2 weeks or more for an actual vote. I will probably be using one of the Linux Foundation voting tools that allows us to do ranked voting. That
Which tool is that, Kurt?
Sorry?
Which tool is that?
I like, was it OppaVote or OppaVote? That's the one I've been using lately. There's several available. I like the interface on that one. It does really nice summary of the election and voting.
Okay, so would you kind of make an introduction to the tools at some point?
Oh, sure. Yeah. In fact, I can
I'll
discuss
send a
that.
link to the tools.
I can discuss that at next meeting. I'll take that as an action to talk about the voting tool.
Okay. This document, I'm not sure if everybody have access. Can you share the document to the mailing list?
Oh, for the technical charter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's available.
People joined relatively new, right? So in the meeting, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's on. 1 second. Okay, it's on GitHub, and let me grab that real fast. I'll come back to that. Yes, I will share that.
I can share. I have the link. Let me share.
Okay, yes, that'd be great. Yeah, it's out on GitHub for SONiC. Okay, so let me jump back to any other questions about the technical charter. Otherwise, I'll jump back to the slides. Li-Hua, would you like me to continue sharing?
Yeah, you go ahead. You can take over. Yeah, since you already have it.
Got it. Okay. All right. Hopefully everybody can see that. Yeah, so I believe I've discussed everything there. Okay, cool. So infrastructure status. As you all know, the governing board, marketing outreach, and technical steering committees have been migrated, and that work is complete. Last night I did finish SONiC projects migration, as I said earlier. That was yeah, about 1,900 members were in that group. So well, I won't bore you with the process, but it was an interesting process to get it all imported into groups.io. Kept timing out. but I was successful in getting it all moved over. I also included a notification of migration along with that. Hopefully everybody did receive that. Yeah, I guess the other thing to note here is that we can now look at archiving the existing SONiC project, Google group, and get everybody switched over to using SONiC Dev, the mail list I have here. So yeah, this, yeah. So I will let you all decide what process and timing that you would like for archiving the SONiC project Google group. But yeah, the SONiC Dev is set up and ready to use.
Kurt, I already part of the Google group, right, from adding new members, right? So, but the people still sending emails there. I think we will send a notification for everybody to move over to use this one.
Yeah, if there's, maybe we, I don't know Google Groups very well, but if there's some way to do like an auto reply where we could say, you know,
I can take care of that. Don't worry about it. But there's no instruction of how to join the SONiC Dev at Linux Foundation.dev, right? So where can people find the instruction?
oh, sure. I can get that.
So it's just me not being very familiar. Do not know how to join those foundation.
Yeah, no worries. If you go to lists.sonicfoundation.dev, that shows all the groups, and the SONiC Dev group page is here. And let me share that real fast. And if you want to subscribe, it's actually very easy. If there's anyone here that is not subscribed, you just send the email to this address. I'm copying this in chat as well. To SONiC-dev plus subscribe at lists.sonicfoundation.dev. The content of the email does not matter. You can send it and say, you know, whatever you want in the content. It will reply to your message with a link and process and description for how to get signed up. Then once you are signed up, you can actually go out to SONiC, this list.sonicfoundation.dev. And I recommend using the link to log in. There's a way where it'll say to log in, you know, use this or email or set up an account. You can just say, send me a link. It'll send you the link. Then you can log in, change your email preferences, add a picture if you want. You can do anything to your account at that point.
Yeah, Kurt, is there a written document somewhere? I think the majority of people on the SONiC Dev, right, are not in this meeting. So we probably need to publish it on the SONiC web page for people to see that.
I like that. If there's not a written document, I will write one. So I will document.
That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic, right? So I think majority of people are familiar with Google Group, but not this backend, groups.io backend, right? So,
yeah, I like that. I think that makes a lot of sense. I will document the process and send that to. Well, I guess I'll send it to both lists.
Okay, and then we can probably just paste it on the SONiC web page for people to use.
Oh, good point. Yeah, for how to get involved. Okay. I'm taking notes. I took that as an action. Yes, I will absolutely do that.
Thank you.
I think that's a really good idea. Okay. Any other questions on SONiC projects migration? Okay.
So sorry, Kurt, I have one question.
Yeah.
So that means the community can start using this new group.
Absolutely, yes. Please.
Okay.
Yeah. If we get
please share. Okay, that's great. So please share the guidance. Then that's still I heard what you said, but it looks like a little bit complicated on the process.
Yeah, it's actually
not a guidance.
Well, subscribing is very simple. Just send any email at all to the SONiC process, SONiC-devs plus subscribe. That's it. That's the whole process. If you want to go in and customize your account, that's what I was referring to, but I can document that as well. But yeah, I mean, using the mail list is very simple. Just mail something to SONiC Dev lists. That's all you have to do.
So everyone needs to send an email to this group.
Well, I mean, if you want to send email to the group, then yes, send email to SONiC Dev.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, please share the guidance. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once you're subscribed, I mean, initially you have to subscribe, and you subscribe by sending an email to SONiC Dev subscribe. And then once you're subscribed, So you don't have to log in or nothing. You just send email to SONiC-dev at lists. And everybody on the list, all 1,900 people will get your email.
Okay. Is there any central website that I can check the history message, or I just can check my email?
Yes, once you've created an account, and once you've gone through the subscription process for groups.io, you'll be able to get to this page that I linked. Actually, I can share it if you wish. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Let me just do, if that's okay, I can share this real fast. Let me see if I can do that. Yes. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see this. The home screen, that's what we're in right now. I'm admin, and so you probably won't have this menu item, admin. You'll just see home and some other things. But once you subscribe, you can log in. I don't know if you can see this over here in the upper right where it says Kurt Taylor. That's where you will go. You can open this, edit your account, put a picture in, change your, however you want your email delivered, whether singly or in digest form or whatever. This is the address that I was referring to for subscribing. And all of this is documented here on this page. But I do think it's probably a good thing for us to document the process for subscription, because if you haven't subscribed, you wouldn't be able to see this page. So I'll be happy to document that. But you were asking about messages. I don't know if you can see my pointer here.
Okay.
You can go to messages. Well, this isn't very interesting because people haven't sent messages on the list, but there would be a list. Let's see, I can go to a different group. Like, let's see, what's one that's been used? You see, yeah. So you can see that this shows all of the email that's been sent, and usually there's pages and pages, but you can search up here in the upper right corner. You can see, you could search email, you can go back through and yeah.
One question, why there is no message in the SONiC project group? I think the message should be migrated.
Oh, I don't even know if that's possible, but that's a really good question. I don't see why we couldn't. Let me, that's a really good question. I'll see if we can migrate.
Oh, you mean only the account is migrated, but not the message?
Yeah, so we have this new account. So let me look into that. I'll see if there's some way to export the SONiC project email and migrate it to groups. Yeah, if that's possible, yeah, I'll do that. I think that's a good idea. Because I was going to ask you all what you wanted to do with the existing archive and how you wanted to archive it and make it be searchable and all that. That would be an elegant way to solve that problem. So let me look at that.
That would be fantastic. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions on this?
Oh, I have a question. So does people have to be a subscriber in order to see those messages, or
You
you
have
know,
to. Guhan, I think this is the chicken and egg of this group.io thing. You have to be in it first before you can see how to subscribe, which is so that's why Kurt will try to draft an instruction right before they and we can post it on our SONiC webpage.
Were you asking about messages though?
yeah, I'm asking the messages, right? So, you know, all this thread that people posted, is that you know, if does it mean like anonymous user cannot see those messages? Then are those messages searchable? Like you know, because someone may want to see, you know, use Bing or Google to search and see if someone discuss those issues. Then how does people? But they may not have joined those this group, right? So not all the people.
So they will have to join in order to see. Once you're a member of the mail list, you will of course get all of the email that is sent to the mail list. But if you missed a message or you deleted it or whatever, then you can come back out here in this search bar over here on the right. You can type in any subject and hit the search and it will go out and find all the emails that were sent on that subject.
Yeah, Kurt, I think this is a lot more restrictive than the Google group, right? Yeah, anybody can search the Google group archive without joining the group at all. So maybe that's a major disadvantage of this tool.
I can look at, okay, let me see if I can. So you want this to be open without subscription?
Yeah, I mean, all this discussion, right, is public, right? Why would people have to subscribe to search it?
Let me check on that. I might be able to make this public. In fact, I bet it's a configuration option.
Okay, cool. That would be good. Yeah, thanks.
Public searchable. Okay. I have a lot of action items this week.
Yeah, sorry about that, but thanks.
No worries.
Yeah.
No, it's part of the job, so not a problem at all. If there's anything else, please let me know. I'm going to stop sharing that. We can jump back over here. All right. SONiC, here we go. Okay. So, yeah. So any other questions on SONiC project migration? Okay. So then the next item that I have here on infrastructure status, we've had an exchange of email. I just thought it might be a good idea to bring it up in this meeting. And that is to discuss the working group migration. Same sort of process. There are 12, as I understand it, that are active right now. I wanted to ask if all 12 were active and were needed. That's really highly unusual for an open source project to have that many working groups. I mean, if that's what you need, that's what you need. But if it's possible to merge some of those, I'm just throwing that out as an idea. Also, the question is, if meetings are needed for each of these work groups, then I will go ahead and migrate those into LFX committees. And the nice thing about that is that we can then manage, you know, recurring meetings, get meeting attendees and recordings, and all that's handled automatically.
So Kurt, I think yes, all the message and the groups should be migrated. Then we can keep a record for the previous message. I mean, if the message can be migrated. That's the first question. The second one is the test subgroup is shared. Currently is shared the OCP meetings. So I think it's better, you know, if you can create the meetings for the test work group. For the other group, I think we already have the, the way to set up the meetings is optional for the Linux Foundation to host those meetings.
Okay. Yeah, that's certainly fine. Work groups can absolutely self-manage. Yeah, it's not something that I would be participating in, but it is, you know, I can absolutely, you know, handle scheduling meetings and adding invitations and so on. So the test group is one that you would like to have as a committee.
Yeah, so today is a share the same meeting with the SONiC community. So, but it's in different day. That's the current approach, but you can decide the new one. Yeah.
So I think there's quite a few working groups, right? Actually, there's another discussion potentially next week. Next meeting, we want to talk about starting a different working group, right? So on the optical side, but so I think those working group is going to form and disband, will form and disband, right? So depend on whether the project got done or not. So that's kind of the natural way that we have been handling things.
Okay. So maybe this isn't something that we make formal and put in as LFX committees. Maybe this is something that, let's see, I guess the only catch is that we would need a way to have work group specific email addresses. I will say that other projects typically have like area kind of messages. So like if test actually has 3 or 4 different, this is just an example, but if test actually has 3 or 4 different working groups, we'll just create a test mailing list, and that one test mailing list will be used for all, you know, all activity in that area. So if we can abstract those up a level, that we can do sort of broad area email lists that may cover several working groups. That's an idea. Yeah, so that's one thought. Then the working groups can form and disband as they need and be self-managed at that point. And get me out of the loop. I mean, I don't mind doing it. It's not a problem. I can set up as many committees as you want. I can add as many members to meetings as you want. That's not a problem. But yeah, if you'd rather self-manage it, that's fine too.
Yeah,
I did
Kurt,
want to.
I think it is going to be difficult for you, right? I understand there's so many different groups, but so if you find a way to enable the working group lead, right? So to self-manage, that will be probably the most scalable and efficient way, right? Through the tooling, right? So I mean, we probably just need the right to create the mailing list, right? And add and remove members. Right now, we cannot do it yet, right? So and then schedule the Zoom meeting. That's probably all the individual working group need.
Okay, I've added everybody. Let's see, I've added everybody. Maybe it's just you, Liwa, but I've added several SONiC TSC and governing board members as moderators to the mailing lists. So it is possible to go set up meetings. I believe you can set up mail lists as well.
No, I cannot do it yet. I don't have a way to do it.
Okay, I can check on that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Permissions. Yeah, or like I said, just create a broader sort of higher level abstraction mail lists that include several working groups, and then that mail list can be used for several working groups.
So yeah, Kurt, I think that enable the people to, who actually need to be in those meetings to manage that would probably be the best, right? So instead of saying that we are going to control the number of working groups that we want to have, right?
Yeah, no, I wasn't referring to like controlling the number. I was just saying abstract the lists at a higher level into broader functional areas, and then, you know, then a person could be a member of that list and maybe see a working group forming that maybe isn't something they were initially involved in, but something they would be interested in. And that way they wouldn't have to join 10 different mailing lists. So just a thought.
Yeah, guys, certainly. I think maybe we can talk about how do we go about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did want to go back to one point. Not sure who said it, but yes, all 20 working groups need to be migrated, even if they're not active. And I think the point was there, if we can migrate the actual email Is that correct? Was that the point?
But the point is, we want to migrate all the message. I mean, make sure we do not miss any information.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
And I guess all of these would also need to be public discussions and publicly searchable.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, I have a lot to check on.
Thanks.
It's not a problem.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next topic. Yeah. The ONE summit. So it's coming in November 15, right? And I think I'm not sure if all TSC members have noticed the call for hackathon and the presentation, right? So we really want to encourage more hackathon submission and presentation submission, right? So I think even among all the technical steering committee companies, right? Some companies have no submission yet. So if you have a good talk and good material, right, and would really encourage that. Right, so just for a call for action. Yeah, I think. Sorry, someone is saying something.
No, Lou,
Yeah.
I was just sorry.
Probably.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I was just going to say for the hackathon, it wasn't, and maybe you missed that, but
Sorry, go ahead.
there was a deadline for the hackathon as well, right? Was it like October 20th, or I know
Yeah.
for the presentation, I think it was 1 or 2 days before.
Yeah.
But for
So for the presentation, right? We have right now 20 submission. So Xin is working with the outreach committee to actually extend a few more days to kind of increase the diversity of the presentations. Right now, it's concentrated on a somewhat smaller number of companies, right? And we want to see more submissions and more kind of different background, right? Bigger topics, right? That's more representative of the SONiC community. The hackathon right now, yeah, so it's not closed yet, but we have 2 or 3 submissions at this point. But we certainly want to see more of those. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
So Rashma, you were saying something?
This I know
Yeah.
in-person presentation. The ONE summit. There are no online submissions, are there?
Sorry, I couldn't get you. Yeah.
I'm saying I was just saying that this is expected to be in-person presentations, right? Or
So Xin, you there? Do you want to clarify this?
is it going to be a hybrid model of online presentations and in-person presentations?
I don't see shit online, but yes,
Okay.
I think it should be hybrided, right?
If
you click
it is hybrid.
the homepage, it has the information.
Yes, the presenters have the option to present virtually.
Okay, sure. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the hackathon itself, right, is actually remote, right? Then the presentation is going to be hybrid. I think the presentation itself are both hybrid, like Kishore mentioned. So this tool is the call is a little bit spurring in the voice quality.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I think that we want to make this event the first event, right, in Linux Foundation that we move over quite successful, right? I think the event in next week, the OCP, is going to be pretty interesting, right? We have a half day of workshop on Tuesday, then on the 2 days of networking track. I think the first day's networking track is mostly hardware, but there's maybe 2 or 3 SONiC related talks. Then the second day of the networking track is, I would say that maybe 80% of the talk are SONiC related, right? So it can be pretty interesting, and we want to make this one even more successful than the OCP one, right? So as we kind of move into Linux Foundation, so highly encourage everybody to participate more. Right. Okay. Yeah. Please feel free to ping me or she, or the outreach committee. I think every TSC company have some representation or every board member have some representatives in the outreach, right? So please work with your outreach member to coordinate that, right? So we're going to try to accommodate as many good contents as possible. Okay, let's move on. Oh yeah, so the repo maintainer reviewers, right? So it's my bad, right? So we had the name nominated, all those things, but I'm missing the GitHub handle. And I managed to find a few GitHub handle, but some of the names it's a little bit hard for me to be sure of how do I match the nominee's name to the GitHub handle. I don't want to kind of by any chance make a mistake, right, and assign to the wrong person. So please update the Excel sheet, sorry, the Google sheet, right, with the right GitHub handle, right? And thanks Broadcom for doing that. But a few other companies, I really need that, right? The GitHub handle, so that Yendao and I can help set up the ownership, right, and the merge rights, etc. Right. So yeah, I already started. I'm not sure if everybody saw my email to the TSC mailing list. If you can follow up on that, that will help us.
So just a quick question.
Yeah.
Because we are a member, at least I'm a member of the TSC mailing list, and I don't get any emails. So.
Okay, so Kishore, I think maybe the TSC mailing list is open. It's not only for the voting members, actually. So
no, I know.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I know I'm a member of that list because I get the Zoom invites, but I do not get any emails sent to that list, and I have a similar problem actually. The other lists, I flagged this to Kurt.
Okay.
Which list? You mean the SONiC project or which one?
No. But even in the case of the outreach, right? So I'm not sure what the issue is. I don't know if it's on our side or on the group side, but
yeah, it's the same with I guess mine as well. I went and subscribed multiple times. Still, I don't get any emails.
Okay, so
yeah, that's something to work. Yeah, that's something to work out with me. It's absolutely possible for Linux Foundation IT to. So what we can do is I can send an email, and they can trace it and see if it's left if it's left our services and been delivered to your site, or to your mail service, and then we could at least figure out if it's a problem on this end or a problem on your end or whatever. So yeah, please, if you're having trouble, please contact me. Kishore, I know you have as well. Yeah, I've been. Let me put my.
Anyways, we can move on. I'm just flagging it here. And Kurt, I did send you an email about it.
No, I appreciate you pointing it out. Okay, so I put in chat. There's my email address. Please send me email if you're having trouble receiving on any lists, and I'll be happy to help you debug it.
Okay, I see Michael mentioned that he submitted the GitHub handles by email. Just a sheet. The sheet is actually in the previous email, previous meeting minutes on the repo and the maintainer. That's the same worksheet. I can send up the link again.
Hey, Lihuan?
Yeah.
Hey, so yeah, we exchanged some emails about the co-maintainer late nominations. So I believe you said that we probably want to have these to be brought up in TSC and maybe start a process on these late entry.
Yes. So there's a correct. Let's talk about it. Yes. Sorry, I missed on the agenda. Yeah. So I think there's an incoming nomination for the repo maintainer and reviewer, right? So from several companies. And I think which is a good thing, right? Even if I think this is a natural thing that it's going to happen, that we always going to have new people who want to join and who wants to pick up the status as a reviewer or maintainer, right, to contribute to the project, right? So I think that we would like the TSC to agree on a process to keep on adding people, or when the people are lose interest, right, and move out. we want to kind of have a process of basically evolving, right, the report maintainer and the reviewer, so that it's always active. And so we need a process for that, right? So this is for the discussion here, and I'm just making a proposal to see that and people please feel free to kind of modify and see what it is, right? So I think if we have to do a full election again, that probably is a little bit too heavy on the process, right? So my proposal is that when we have new nomination, we just do offline through the email and among the TSC voting members, right? So as an email to put the nomination of a report maintainer should go to the entire TSC mailing list, so everybody have visibility into, right? And then the TSC voting member will just do a yes or no voting, right? And then to look at augmentation or removal. Is that does it sound reasonable to everybody? And
I have a question here. So because there were existing report maintainers, right? So when the TSA member do the voting, are they going to get any feedbacks on existing maintainer? Because ultimately the new maintainer will be working with the existing maintainers, right? So
I think that's a good point, right? So I think if let's say, okay, I take let's say the SWSS report as an example. There's 2 maintainer and many reviewer already, right? And let's say there is a proposal to add a 3rd person as a maintainer. I would say that maybe the most natural way is that for the existing maintainer and reviewer to join the vote as well. Would that work? So instead of doing a broad, like a bother everybody, like the non-related maintainer reports, we only have only need this one particular report, right? Let's say if we're talking about one particular report, then we just kind of start voting on the existing report.
Yeah, so Liuhua, so then in fact there's 2 situations that we're doing here, right? As you know, there's one person that basically there's one person that missed the original voting cycle because the name was lost somehow, from the original list. And then the other situation is, of course, the late nomination. And are we saying that these 2 category of situation will be handled the same way?
So that is my proposal. Yes, I think it's a little bit difficult. So for whatever reason, we missed one person, right? So I apologize on that, right? So in the copy and paste, and probably we didn't review the mailing list. Sorry, the Excel sheet carefully enough, right? So it's a little bit difficult to go back to undo the previous voting, and for that one person. So we can just take it as an augmentation. Would that work with you, Adam?
Yeah, that's fine with me. Thanks.
Yeah, and then so there's no new nominations as well, so we can basically do it together.
And the messages that were sent from your side, like what do we expect that message from Linux Foundation ID in some way, or it's your regular email address when we send it out?
No, so it's actually in the Excel sheet, right? What we want people to update in the Excel sheet. Let me find the email I sent to people.
Definitely, we can update the Excel sheet. I was wondering about the emails that you might have sent, which I don't think I have either.
Okay, so okay, sounds like many people are having issue with the TSC mailing list. Okay, okay. So if you're not receiving, I'm gonna spend the mailing list a few times today, right? About in both the SONiC TSC and the SONiC Dev. If you are not receiving it, my suggestion is please work with Kurt, right, to get that fixed. I'm sorry to see that, but I don't have visibility on why you are not receiving it.
Sounds good. Yeah, looks like the problem is more universal.
Yeah. So I'm going to spam the mailing list right now, and okay. Okay. Has anyone already to the SONiC TSC mailing list? Right. So as a test email. So sorry. Yeah. If you are not receiving it, please follow up with Kurt.
Thank you.
Yeah, just to keep it interesting, I also just sent one. So it'll be interesting to see if you receive one or not the other. That would be good to know.
So Kurt, I'm sure it's probably mostly with me, but when I go to the Linux Foundation page, I found myself not able to join the SONiC dev. I know that I'm receiving some emails from you, so I suppose you probably added me already, but I think I hear some other folks here also saying that not able to find that page, but I was trying to navigate it to participate, join a project, and then I try to click the join SONiC project button, and then it takes me to a billing page.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, you're just asking to join the mail list, right?
Yeah. Is there a? Yeah, I guess we all need documentation to have a one-on-one kind of.
Yes. I 100% hear that. I have taken an action to document how to join the mail list.
So interesting question. How do you deliver that document?
Oh, sorry, I missed the question. What was that?
How do you deliver that document if we're not receiving any email from you yet?
Oh, well, if you're not on the list, I mean, I wouldn't do that. That would be it's funny problem, but no. I think the right way to do this is either put this on a wiki or put this on the web page, how to get involved. Joining the project is as a member. That's what the join is on the SONiC website. But getting involved in the project is completely different matter. That's going to GitHub, that's going to whatever. And so I think we can, that's for TSC. Thank you, Liwa. So yeah, actually, I guess what I need to do is have a generic process to document how to get involved, then how to join a mail list, and then have a list of specific subscribed lists. Because yeah, the lists are open, with the exception of governing board. The lists are open. Anyone can join them.
Yeah, thanks. The link you and Liwa just shared, it works much better.
That's why this is a chicken and egg, right? You have to be a member to see the link, but if you are already a member, you really do not need this link, right? So
yeah, you can't go to the SONiC TSC link until you've joined the mail list, and you can join the mail list by sending email to, like I said, to the subscribe. It's basically the mail list plus subscribe. So like in the TSC case, it's this one. But yes, I will document this and make sure that it gets to a public place where you don't need to be a member or subscribe to anything in order to see it.
Awesome. Thank you.
In fact, maybe we put this, it's probably not a bad idea to have a getting started page. I know a lot of projects do that. They'll have a, how to get involved, how to get started in the project. And they'll put that on a wiki, or they'll put that on the, or at least a link to that from the main website, that sort of thing. So let me get that written up, and then we'll figure out where to put it.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, so
back on the topic of repo maintenance and reviewers.
yeah, let's go back to the maybe let's troubleshoot this mailing list thing offline, right? So let's talk about the repo maintenance reviewers again, right? So okay, so we were talking about the augmentation, right, or change to the repo maintenance reviewer, right? And then who gets to vote, right? The TSC plus the existing maintenance reviewer, okay. So how do we kick off the process? I probably just need an email from the person who's proposing the change, right, to the TSC mailing list, right, and then we can just kind of have the do the process, due process there. Would that work with everybody? Bagar, you also have some additional nomination, right? So
yes.
Do you think that would work?
So you would like us to send an email? Yeah, that would work.
As an augmentation, right, to the existing ones, or change, right? Just change, right? So maybe that's just so that it's easier to track. Just maybe title those email as email with what?
Change request for the
change request to repo maintainer or reviewer and.
Right, I can follow up with an email, absolutely. I also wanted to ask about reviewer results. I thought the nomination process so far only has the maintainer result. Is that correct? Or maybe I'm missing something.
So basically, yeah, okay. So I think at the beginning, right, we talked about doing both maintainer and the reviewer kind of nomination. I think a lot of nomination look one a little bit confusing on what are the maintainer, what are the reviewer. And I think in reality, a lot of repo does not have a lot of reviewer nomination. So we actually need to kind of go out to source the reviewers to help on that, right? And to basically help the maintainer, right? And also on general on GitHub, right? Anybody can put comments. So those kind of reviewers probably do not need a status, right? So maybe.
Yeah, that's fine. If that I'm just trying to understand what our conclusion is. So if the conclusion is that we vote on and decide on the maintainers and the reviewers can be done separately, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what it is, right? So the reviewer is just a list of resource available to the repo that helps the maintainer, right? And potentially the reviewer will work their way towards the maintainer status later on as they kind of contribute more and in terms of a review and code contribution. So I think maybe that's how the maintainer can decide, right?
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Okay,
and there was also talk about like a lead maintainer and a co-maintainer.
Yeah.
I guess currently the results doesn't have like a separation like that, and I just wanted to make sure we are all on the same page.
Oh, okay. Was it? Let me find the Excel sheet and open it up and see what did we put it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leho.
Yeah. So,
just a heads up, we have 2 minutes left in the meeting, so we might want to wrap it up.
Oh, okay. So this meeting will automatically end or what?
No, it's just we'll start losing people to other meetings, including myself.
So, yeah, okay. Do we have another agenda? Just can you put it below?
This one, last page, yeah.
Okay, no, this is the same thing. So Yanzhao, in next meeting, will you talk about the planning?
Yeah, for the planning, I'm thinking I will kick off next Monday. So I will send out an email to the SONiC project Google group. So I will continue to use that one until we finalize the migration. So that's the kind of thinking. So the planning I will switch to the GitHub project instead of using a Google Sheet. So that's the two major change. Other thing, no change. The release date is still next May. So yeah, that's some very quick.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Yanzhao just shared this, right? So yes, we didn't really mark up the lead maintainer. So maybe we should have to do it. For the smaller repo, it's easy because the only one. And then for the bigger repo, we probably just need to designate based on. I think we have the votes, right? The voting results. So I transfer from the vote and use the largest number of vote as a lead maintainer. Is that okay with everybody? Whoever has a big largest number of vote as a lead, or if we want to make a change later on, that's also okay.
Sounds good, Lihu.
Okay, cool. I marked it in the Excel sheet that is shared from Yandao, and also please put in the GitHub handle in this Excel sheet, right? So Rashma, you asked about this earlier, the GitHub handle. So that this is the Excel sheet that we want to see the yeah.
Yeah, sounds good, Lihu. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, by the way, for the repo maintainer, so the current thinking is like we are trying to activate those after the OCP meeting. So maybe the week after next week. That's the current proposal.
Yeah, once we have the GitHub handle, we can activate this.
Yeah. Please provide the handle.
I have a very quick question. It's about the legal process that we were going through to upstream the code to SONiC within Intel, the OSPDT team. And we found some questions or discrepancies in terms of the license used in SWSS. For example, SWSS was Apache 2 and it uses libnl, which is GPL, and the expected LGPL. So we have some pointed action items and questions. Whom can I work with on that to resolve it?
Okay, so this is getting into a legal question, which so in the past, right? So we put in some people, the legal counsel in Microsoft, to help answer those kind of questions. Okay. I don't know whether Linux Foundation have a dedicated legal counsel that can help. Kurt, do you know?
I'll have to check on that. Okay. And I'm going to have to drop. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So
I will send an email to Lihu and Kurt.
Yeah, Rashma. So yeah, if necessary, I can pull in a Microsoft legal counsel to help address that as well, to talk with the Intel's legal counsel. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That'll help a lot.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Hey, but Bhagat, I think you have another topic to talk, but maybe we can take this offline. Okay. Yeah. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye.